What's up, guys? The Iceman here on the Iceman's Return YouTube channel. Last night, Thursday night, TNA Impact Wrestling on Spike TV. One of the biggest planned screw jobs for me in wrestling history. Spoilers can come and spoilers can go. But most of the times when we see the spoilers, we don't know what's within those spoilers, what leads up to that spoiler outcome. A lot of people watching TNA Impact Wrestling last night saw a show that was so finely tuned to lead up to the outcome of the main event. Watching Impact Wrestling last night kept me on the edge of my seat. I did already know the outcome of the main event due to people putting up spoilers, but I had no idea, I had no knowledge whatsoever what was going to transpire into that main event. I think all the segments that were on last night's Impact Wrestling all meant something. You know, from the beginning with AJ Styles coming out and Dixie handing him the contract to sign for one night only, you know, right down the line where ODB was being attacked by Lady Tapa and Gail Kim, and Eric Young had to leave his tag team partner Joseph Park with their match with the Bromans to take care of ODB, and due to her injuries, rush her to a nearby hospital, leaving Joseph Park alone in the ring with the Bromans and Zema Ion, only to be slammed down on the ring rails that were torn apart outside the ring and placed on the ring mat. Just one segment. Last night's Impact was indeed something very different, very inspiring, and very deliberate. To see Kurt Angle have an open cage challenge and to see Bobby Roode come out and none other have his two cohorts from Bad Influence, Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, face Angle within the cage, a 2-on-1 match, and to see the determined Kurt Angle with the determination and just the never-ending battle in Kurt to take out these two competitors to face Bobby Roode in a steel cage at the upcoming Genesis on January 16th. To see James Storm and Gunner outside the arena, knocked out by whiskey or booze bottles or beer bottles or what have you, and Sting finding him and wondering what the heck is going on. Dixie truly had a plan to take out all of AJ Styles' friends so they wouldn't be around to be there for his final match on Impact Wrestling. Samoa Joe confronted Dixie and said he would be definitely there for AJ Styles. But the attack by EC3 during their match with a pipe wrench incapacitated Joe, and therefore Joe had to leave and be taken to a nearby hospital. Kurt Angle, after his match, was escorted out to a hospital for no reasons revealed by Al Snow. One by one, all of AJ's comrades were disappearing. And it got to the point where the only one left was Sting himself. And Sting himself had a match with Bobby Roode within the steel cage, and Dixie said she would have his back. Bobby Roode also was there to take out Sting, so Sting would also not be around for the main event with AJ and Magnus. But Sting didn't let this stop him. Sting prevails. And there we have a main event. The last time we may see AJ Styles in a TNA ring, putting up his TNA World Heavyweight belt up against the paper champion and DIXIES champion, Magnus. She decided earlier in the night it would be a no DQ match. And she had her way. She figured it all out on paper. She most definitely did. And just before the main event, we saw Mr. Anderson walk into a funeral parlor, only to see Bully Ray in the corner. The dark Bully Ray. What has become of Bully Ray? Makes it interesting to see what will happen at Genesis on January 16th. But where was Bully Ray? Where was Mr. Anderson? Neither were involved in the main event. One would have thought that maybe Mr. Anderson may have come to the aid of AJ Styles, but that wasn't to be. AJ not only faced Magnus in the TNA World Heavyweight title match, he faced just about every heel in the company. AJ held his own last night. One could say that with what he had to go through and what he endured, even though the final outcome wasn't a victory, that AJ really showed his pride, his integrity, and what he stands for in a wrestling ring. Because when he faced Magnus, he not only faced Magnus, he had to face the likes of Rockstar Spud, EC3. With the help of Sting, it just wasn't quite enough. Because not only was it EC3 and Rockstar Spud, then came in the Bromans, Jesse and Robbie, and then came in Zema Ion. And that still wasn't enough to stop AJ Styles and Sting. So then Daniels and Kazarian come in. Daniels, one of AJ's best friends throughout Ring of Honor and throughout TNA, through all these years, they've both endured together. But he turned on AJ, and still, it wasn't enough for all these superstars in the ring to take down AJ Styles along with the Stinger, until Bobby Roode came in and gave AJ the it factor 4 times. And there, throughout this match, Magnus couldn't pin AJ Styles. Earl Hebner would not put the 3 count on AJ Styles. He left the ring. His son came in. He reluctantly wanted to give the 3 count. So he was tossed out of the ring very violently until a third referee came in with Dixie Carter, and Magnus just pointing, staring down at AJ Styles, wanting Bobby Roode to continue giving AJ the it factor. AJ Styles was pinned by Magnus, and it wasn't for a lack of effort, and it wasn't for a lack of effort by Sting himself as well. It goes to show you, in my eyes, Magnus, do you really feel that you deserved to win or to retain the TNA World Heavyweight title? Do you really think that you are the champion when you had Rockstar Spud, EC3, the Bromans, Zema Ion, Kazarian, Daniels, and Bobby Roode all help you out? That was your only way to victory. And in my eyes, AJ Styles will always be the face of TNA Impact Wrestling, whether he returns or not. He is my champion of TNA. And I will say this, Dixie, you planned out this show very deliberately and quite well. And I must say, it kept me on the edge of my seat throughout the whole night. Even though I knew the outcome was going to be a Magnus victory, it just was breathtaking and exciting to watch how this match developed, followed through, and ended. I wish that AJ could have addressed the fans, but the show went off the air. And for me, after I turned the channel, I was thinking about it. And I said to myself, was there any appreciation whatsoever by Dixie Carter for what AJ Styles contributed and accomplished over these past, 12 years, 13 years in TNA wrestling? One does have to wonder. AJ sorely will be missed for the time being. And I don't think there ever will be any kind of respect in my eyes for the TNA champion Magnus. But I want to say it was an excellent show last night. I loved it. It went right down. I'm going to tell you, I love the way things followed through. Again, I already knew the outcome, but I didn't know what was going to lead up to the developments of the ending of the match. And like I said earlier in this video, Dixie Carter did it right to the letter. This was one of the biggest screw jobs, planned screw jobs in wrestling history, if not in TNA history for sure. If you didn't get to watch the show, watch it. I thought the show really delivered. Every single segment meant something. And for what it's worth, TNA is still looking good in my eyes. So this is the Iceman on the Iceman's Return YouTube channel. Peace out, everybody. We'll see you next time.